My name is Avery. I'm a junior in high school who studies anthropology. In this video, I will be presenting my fieldwork, where I interviewed vendors at a farmer's market. The creation of Lincoln Square dates back to the 1850s. The population grew in the 1900s because of electric streetcars and the opening of the first elevated train in 1907. Lincoln Square was not annexed until 1920. The styles of houses range from Victorian houses to modern houses, and the average household income is around $99,924. The ethnic demographic of Lincoln Square consists of 71% white, 19.4% Hispanic, 6% Asian, 1.6% mixed, and 0.1% other. The street boundaries of Lincoln Square include Bryn Mawr and Peterson Avenues, Montrose Avenue, Ravenswood Avenue, and the Chicago River. Some important landmarks include Wells Gideon Park and the First Apothecary in Chicago. And an event that is held every Thursday in this neighborhood is Forward Chicago Presents. All of my research was done here at the Lincoln Square Farmers Market. The Lincoln Square Farmers Market is located at North Lincoln Avenue and West Leland Avenue in Chicago. It is open during 2 days of the week, which includes Tuesdays from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. and Thursdays from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. At the market, I interviewed 6 different people from 4 different tents in hopes to answer my overall question, which is, to what extent do the demands for healthy/clean foods reflect the mission of vendors/representatives at the farmers market?
I think it's just being closer to the people that sell or buy. We form relationships with a lot of the customers. Like Sam's been doing it longer than I. She's on her 8th season with McClue, and I think it's forming relationships with customers that makes it so much more worth it than selling it to Alaska.
Well, he's just getting started, so we're trying to get the business going. So we haven't gotten that far yet.
Just because our fresh produce gets to the community in a day, instead of how the big scale farmers it takes weeks for them to get it to the people.
Yeah.
And then I think a healthy produce is better for that the community.
Well, this is coming from a personal perspective because I work with the company, so I'm sure they have their own reasons. But I think if we share one, it's probably just the ability to have a closer connection with people, as opposed to selling it in bulk to a company and then them not necessarily knowing who's behind it or what we're about. The relationship that we have with people, with our patrons, is important to us. So that's it's a better way to connect with them than to selling it.
Clean?
Yes.
Water.
Sustainably grown.
Yeah.
I think just sustainably grown.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I would say sustainably grown. There's definitely some ins and outs of growing an asparagus. Obviously, not using any type of spray whatsoever.
Yeah.
Would be the cleanest, but also it's not a sustainable way of growing and making an income. So I think that
we use organic sprays, but we're not certified organic, we're certified sustainable.
Yes.
And we also, for the most part, especially with our fruit, we don't spray the fruit, we spray the bud of the plant, which makes a big difference. So that's another way that we're able to stay clean. And actually a lot of organic farms spray. So, people think that they're getting something, organic. They hear the word organic and they get all excited about it and think it's the best thing for you. It's not necessarily. There are sprays that they use. But our sprays are also sulfur-based.
Clean?
Yes.
Well, when you don't have any preservatives or additives in clean packaging, not too much, packaging, so it's not wasteful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sustainable methods
clean? Well, there's since our food is prepared, there's literally standards and guides to how food is prepared in the kitchen. So, yeah, it's literally whatever the standards say, whatever the rules say. If they're followed correctly, then what is prepared is clean. It's as simple as that. There's no it's just, there's literally a standard for how the kitchen should be run. If that's followed, then it's fine.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, of course. Not just like I said, because we are required to follow a certain standard, meet a certain standard of cleanliness. We do that, but to be a little bit more specific, the food that we make, we try to make it with as least preservatives as possible, and we try to make it as simple as possible to kind of give people a really natural experience in terms of our empanada.
As Tara said, we have a lot of customers that have been with us for 30 years even, so they know our product well, and it's a family farm, so this is the third generation of farmers that have worked here, and you can tell that they care about their produce, they care about their customers, they care about what they're doing. They want to provide beautiful produce for our customers. So.
Well, we tell them what is in it and how we make it and how it's processed and everything.
Would you like to tell us how it's made?
Yes, we are bean to bar. We roast the beans, temper the chocolate, make the truffles. He fills them all with sustainable ingredients, makes a nut butter. It's all nuts, half nuts and half chocolate. And there's no additives or preservatives in it.
I would say everything that we bring is healthy, but we help them pick.
Well, in terms of the content of our product or how we serve it?
I'd say a mix of both.
Okay, yeah, well, serving it, it's simple as wearing gloves and making sure that the food that you're serving is covered in an appropriate way. And in terms of the food itself, like I said, we try to use as minimal, just very simple natural products. Everything that we make, the coloring is natural, and it's all vegan. So yeah, and in that way, making sure that the procedure is followed to make sure everything's clean, and also trying to provide natural, clean products in general for our food.
Yes, absolutely. This has been a growing market. So I've been coming to this particular market for about 5 years. It was a lot smaller than this. We have a lot more vendors, a lot more options. So yeah, definitely. And I would say that year by year, we keep getting better and better, learning what works and what doesn't. So yeah, definitely.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, for sure. I think, I don't really know how to elaborate on that, but
That's okay.
We have new management now, who's also very strict about the rules, which is great. And the manager before that was also very strict about how she ran the market, and so that ensured that everything was done properly and everything was clean as well.
Based upon my interviews, cleanliness can be defined as no pesticides or additives in the product, and clean packaging, which was defined as putting the nut butter in glass containers by Pat, using gloves while creating the empanadas by Victor, and offering paper bags to buyers. Each vendor that I interviewed agreed with them striving to produce clean products. Pat went into further detail during my interviews and explained how her son's products were produced. Victor and Sam did the same, explaining how each company took care of the crop/product. In the end, everyone that I interviewed wanted to produce clean and healthy foods that they could provide to the community. Most preferred selling at a farmer's market because they were able to either get the food to the buyers faster or provide a better selection of healthier products. Overall, this project was super enjoyable. I was shocked by the fact that my interviews went well and that I did not end up panicking while interviewing each vendor. Thank you for watching. I would also like to thank my Babsia for coming along during the process of interviewing. We ended up buying a few things. I bought from 3 out of the 4 vendors that I interviewed alongside a vendor I didn't interview. I bought basil, pistachio nut butter, almonds, and empanadas. But I only took pictures of 2 things.